Hey guys, Wet Movie 1 back here again for another Blu-ray DVD update. I got a nice size stack of stuff here to talk to you guys about today, so let's get started with it. And remember, if you guys like these videos, please give them a thumbs up, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think about some of the films I'm talking about in this video. And the first one up is from Warner Brothers. It's a Blu-ray DVD, and that is The Incredible Burt, Wonderstone, the one starring Jim Carrey, Steve Buscemi, and Steve Carell, and Olivia Wilde. This movie is pretty much about Steve Carell and Steve Buscemi's characters. They become friends in like elementary school. They learn magic together, and they when they grow up, they have their own show in Las Vegas in this big fancy dancy hotel. But they've been doing it for so long, their act has been gotten tired, and the people that own the hotel are like, "You guys gonna update your act? Because if you're not, we're gonna have to let you go." And around that same time, they have Jim Carrey's character. He's kind of like the Chris Angel type. He's doing the outrageous kind of magic stunts on the street corners, like, sleeping on hot coals or poking stuff in his eye. Well, he's like the hot new guy everyone wants. And it's pretty much Steve Carell's character and Steve Buscemi's character trying to figure out what they're going to do to reinvent themselves. I found this movie to be really, really funny. Not like super funny or anything, but I think me and Andrew gave it like a 6 or 7 out of 10 on our review when we saw it in the movie theater. But I just had to get my hands on this one. I'm a big fan of Steve Carell and Steve Buscemi and Jim Carrey for that matter. And Jim Carrey really steals the show in this film. Just really outrageous performance. But on this Blu-ray here, you get a behind-the-scenes featurette, deleted and extended scenes. You get a hilarious gag reel on here. Don't miss it if you get your hands on this Blu-ray. That was really, really funny stuff. And of course you get a little behind the scenes with David Copperfield, the Magic Man himself, showing you some magic stuff. And it's a really fun movie. If you guys get a chance, I recommend you guys check this one out. And next up right here is Jack the Giant Slayer on Blu-ray, DVD, Ultraviolet Digital Copy Combo Pack. I didn't get a chance to see it in the movie theater. I saw the trailers for it. I was just kind of like, it could be okay. You know, it was one of those ones I saw the trailer for and I was just like, I might wait until the Blu-ray comes out to check it out, you know? But then I watched it and I'm like, why didn't I go see it in the movie theater? It blew my mind. You know, it was one of those ones I really didn't have any expectations for when I went into it. And when I came out of it, I'm like, that was fun. You know what I mean? Is it Academy Award winning? No. But is it fun to watch with the whole family? I think it is. And it's, Jack and the Beanstalk tale that you guys all know from when you're a kid that your parents tell you about or that you hear about in school. But, just updated, and it's really kind of fun. Of course, Jack's a young kid that gets these magic beans and he's told to never get them wet. And of course, one day, as he's in his house during like a rainstorm or something, one of the beans happens to fall and go into like one of his floorboards, and then the rain comes and gets it wet, and then boom! There goes the beanstalk to the giant town. And then Jack has to go up the beanstalk to save his lady love. That's pretty much the movie. It was a hell of a fun movie. You get behind the scenes on here, but it's also you also get the behind the scenes on here, but it's also in game form. Like you have to you go to one of the special features on here, and it's like climbing up the beanstalk. Like if you go up the wrong way, you can fall down. You can try to get up all the way up the beanstalk. It's like a cool little Blu-ray game on here that I thought it was really kind of fun. And when you get to certain places, you get little clips of behind the scenes and stuff that was kind of cool. And it's just really fun. I really recommend you guys check this one out if you guys are into fairy tale stuff. It was cool too. Like a manly cool, not just like it's fairies, but it's cool. Jack the Giant Slayer. I liked it very much. It was cool. And next up right here from Fox is Movie 43. Yes, I know. It's another one of those movies like Kentucky Fried Movie. Just a whole bunch of short films stringed together to make a movie. And I posted on Facebook the other day saying you guys will be surprised at what I'm going to say about this film. I didn't hate it, but I also didn't absolutely love it either. There's a lot of shorts in here, or like five of them, that I really liked. Like there's one with Anna Faris, and it has to do with pooping, and there's there's another one with Terrence Howard with him playing a basketball coach. That's really funny too. And the one with Josh Duhamel is pretty funny. There's a lot of funny ones in here, but then there's a lot of really, really bad ones. You know, like, some of these things that you watch, you're like, why is Richard Gere in this movie? Why is Halle Berry in this doing what she's doing in this movie? You know, there's some people that when you watch this movie, you be like, oh, I see why they're in it. Like, you know, Johnny Knoxville, Sean William Scott, just they're having a good time messing around. I can see that. But like seeing like, you know, big stars like I said, Richard Gere and you know, Kate Winslet, like, come on, what are they doing in this thing? But it is worth a rental. I can't say run out there and buy this one, but it's pretty much the story. It's simple. Pretty much the story is this one guy has this idea for a movie, and he pretty much breaks into a movie studio with a gun, and he holds up this movie executive saying, "Hey, I need you to buy my script." You know, he's like, "What is your script about?" And it's pretty much him telling him the little stories that he has, which is movie 43, like little vignettes of stuff, and it cuts in and out from each, like after every couple short films, it cuts back in, you know, to that storyline of him holding up the movie executive. That's pretty much it, and it goes back and forth between little short films. Like I said, some of them are better than others, but the good doesn't outweigh the bad, but the ones that are good are really funny, in my opinion. But that's movie 43. I recommend renting it like at a Redbox or your local video stores. Next up right here from Sony, and that is The Last Exorcism Part 2. Okay, I wanted to rewatch this movie again because I saw it in theaters with Andrew. I didn't like it at all. And I wanted to see what the unrated edition would be if it brought anything new to the table. And it really didn't do much of anything that I've even can notice. But it's pretty much about the same girl from the first one. It takes place right after the last one ended, and but yet she's in this like home for girls, that like a group home kind of place that takes care of, you know, troubled people, troubled teenagers, and she's there trying to make new friends, trying to start a new life, but yet that the demon that was after her in the first one is after her again, and it's her trying to get away. But does she get away? It's The Last Exorcism Part 2. You're gonna have to find out to see here. But there's some like decent special features on here. They're really, really short though. You get like a commentary track on here by the director and producer Eli Roth. Yeah, they recorded the commentary track the night of the premiere of this film. And they're just talking about, you know, different experiences they had in the film shooting in Louisiana. And there's like two really short behind the scenes, like 2 minutes each, of behind the scenes features on here. But there's one featurette on here, just like 5 minutes, I think. And it's these people that are working in a hair salon, and they're playing pranks on their customers, like having this girl, you know, but someone that's playing her, not exactly the same girl, but like playing her and like playing these mean pranks on these people. I recommend you guys see that special feature if you guys get this Blu-ray. It's really kind of funny. But that's The Last Exorcism Part 2. Meh.
Excuse me, wait a second, sorry. I'm just stopping by real quick, okay? And then he can get on with what he needs to say, okay? This time I only have one to share with you, and it's not something I probably would have chosen on my own, but it seemed kind of interesting, and so I went ahead and watched it. Now, I'm no expert, and I'm not real well versed in, you know, Middle East the conflict in the Middle East and how long it's been going on, and, you know, all the different wars they've had and different things. But this one from Sony Pictures Classic, called The Gatekeepers. It was an Academy Award nominated documentary for 2012. It didn't win, but it received quite a bit of accolades and nice things, that type of stuff, in the, I believe, 2013 Sundance Film Festival. Anyway, what this is, once again called The Gatekeepers, it goes inside Israel's Secret Service, basically known as the Shin Bet, and it interviews 6, well, I guess I as well call them secret agents, which I found really interesting that the director, Jor Moray, and I hope I said his name correctly, he was able to contact these people, and these people were willing to participate in this documentary regarding how the Shin Bet or Secret Service handled different situations. There were they're mainly used for detecting and quelling terrorism. And there were things like the Bus 300 incident and stuff like that, and they talked to the people that were involved. None of this I knew, but it was so interesting that I just was entranced by watching it and having these secret agents, which normally they don't come on camera and tell you anything. That's why it's called, the Secret Service. But it was really riveting. It was very interesting. It gave me a lot of insight to the types of things that go on in the Middle East, and made me more interested in that I, looked up, other things on the internet, regarding the Middle East and what the disputes were and everything like that. So I would really recommend this movie because to me it's incredible that this director was able to get, 6 former Secret Service men to let you know their views about what went on and how they had to handle things, and later on in their later life how they felt about how they handled things. Really, really interesting. And once again, it's from Sony Pictures Classics. Give it a look-see. Pretty interesting. Oh, okay, Brendan, I'm done.
Okay, Mom, thanks for your review. You're awesome. And next up, guys, from Disney is Lilo and Stitch. And Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch, on a 3-disc special edition here. You get both the films on DVD, and you get them both on one Blu-ray here, which the picture quality doesn't diminish whatsoever. The picture quality on these movies look amazing. And I've never got a chance to see these movies when they first came out. I don't know how I missed them, but I'm kind of mad that I did, because I sat down and watched them back to back the other day, and I was surprised of how much I love them and how much heart these movies have. It's pretty much about this little girl named Lilo. She lives on this island. I think it's Hawaii, I believe. And she lives on there with her sister. And her parents, I think, passed away, or so something happened to her. Something happened with their parents. And she's kind of like a loner, and like the little girls she hangs out with don't really like her. They don't want to hang out with her. They think she's kind of weird and crazy or something. And she lives in this broken home. And like the older sister is getting threatened by the social services to be taking Lilo away from her, and so she's trying to get her sister's trying to get a job to do anything she can to keep Lilo in the family. Lilo's just kind of like, oh my God, what's going on here? She wish she had friends, and one night she sees this falling star, or she thinks it's a star, but it's really Stitch, an alien creature from outer space. And she's on her knees next to her bed, praying for a friend, praying for good things to happen. And then Stitch, the little alien creature, comes into her life, and all this craziness happens, and they become friends. And it's just a very lovely, lovely stories here. I really do recommend these movies if you have never seen them before. I kind of cried a little bit at the end of the first one. The second one is as good as the first, but I'm not going to really get into that one right now, but it is as cool as the first one. But guys, check out this set right here, Lilo and Stitch 2 film collection on Blu-ray. And next up right here from Twilight Time, you can also get this title on screenarchives.com, and that is Harsh Times, starring James Bronson and James Coburn. In this film, James Coburn is kind of like a con man, kind of like a guy that, puts on fights, so he can gamble and make some money off these different fights. He's kind of like a gambling man. He's always losing all of his money. And then Charles Bronson's character comes into town. He's kind of like a drifter, kind of like a dude that just goes from town to town, not really having any big plans, just a drifter. Yet he comes across James Coburn's character one night, and he finds out that James Coburn's character is like a guy that's into the underground fight scene. And he's like, yo, I can fight. You want to make some money with me? And it's pretty much them teaming up, going against like the mob guys that are into the underground fighting too. It's really kind of a cool film. You get like the total vibe of the 70s when they shot this film. The transfer on this movie is amazing. It's the best I've ever seen the transfer on this. And that's pretty much a simple story of it. You get some really real manly fight scenes in this film. You also get a theatrical trailer on here. The movie's about 94 minutes long in 1080p. and it's just it's a very cool, manly movie. You know, it has like little slow pacing, you know, towards the beginning of the film, but at the end it starts picking up, and Charles Bronson starts kicking butt, you know. But if you guys are into Charles Bronson, like the Death Wish movies and stuff, definitely give this one a look-see, guys. You get, like I said, get it at screenarchives.com. It was cool, man. I really enjoyed that film. And next up right here is Philadelphia on Blu-ray, you know, starring Denzel Washington and Tom Hanks. They both, in this film, Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington both play lawyers in this film in Philadelphia. And at the beginning of the film, Tom Hanks is like at this big law firm. He's about to, you know, become like a partner. And then he gets fired. You know, he gets fired for like negligence. Or like, you know, something really stupid. But then you come to find out he might have gotten fired because he just recently got AIDS, and he's starting to show like all these different, you know, like lacerations or, you know, things that happen on your face and body when you have AIDS or get AIDS. And he thinks that the firm fired him because of that, and he hires Denzel Washington's character to help defend him in this court case. And Denzel Washington's kind of like the lawyer guy that you see on TV, like, if you slip and fall in the stove, come and see me. He's kind of like that kind of a lawyer guy, and Tom Hanks is kind of like the upper class kind of a lawyer guy. But Tom Hanks went to all these different other law firms, and they all said, no, we can't help you with this. But Denzel Washington's character's like, you know what? You know, I'll do it. He's kind of like a homophobe. He doesn't want to be touched by someone that has AIDS, but yet he's doing it at the same time and being criticized for it at the same time. It's an amazing court case kind of a movie. I believe Tom Hanks won the Academy Award for Best Actor in this film. The film didn't win Best Picture of the year it came out, but I think it was the year that The Piano won, the one with Harvey Keitel. But it was a kind of a shame that this movie didn't win for Best Picture, because it's an amazing film. And on this Blu-ray here, you get the audio commentary from the filmmakers, the original making of featurette, deleted scenes, theatrical trailers, extra footage and interviews on here. This Blu-ray is loaded with special features, and the transfer is so beautiful of this film. The last time I saw this movie, I believe, was on the first pressing of it on DVD. But now getting the Blu-ray, you won't be disappointed if you guys are fans of this film. It also comes with a nice little booklet in here. You can read about the movie and stuff, and a beautiful disc art here. But you can get these on screenarchives.com. I recommend you guys check this one out, guys. Philadelphia on Blu-ray. And next up right here from Comedy Central, Workaholics Season 3. I absolutely love this show. It's kind of like a show for my generation. You know, like the 20-somethings, 30-somethings, are just, you know, like slackers, kind of people that just want to do what they want and just have fun with themselves. Like, this is the kind of show that, you know, like me and Sean and like Andrew and Gabriel would all make, and just like, you know, be crazy and creative, you know. This is that kind of show about these three guys that work in a, you know, little office together, but they get high and get into hijinks, and, you know, you even get Lori Beth Denberg in one of these episodes for a little quick cameo. And even in season 1, I believe, you get like Mark Summers in a quick cameo also. But you get, what's it called, all 20 episodes of season 3 on this Blu-ray here. It came out earlier this week. Man, I just love this show. It's one of those shows you sit down and relax and just have a good time with. But Workaholics, I really recommend you guys check this out if you guys are into funny stuff. Workaholics Season 3, baby. Alright guys, next up from Magnolia is A Place at the Table. This is a documentary about how there's a lot of people in America that are starving. And I know it's kind of funny me talking about this, being like, you know, 300, 400 pounds, sitting here talking about hunger in America. But this was really kind of a really kind of a touching film. And it follows like a couple of families and how they're struggling with trying to keep food on the table for their kids and themselves. Some of them even have jobs. Like, there's a guy in this movie that's a sheriff of this town, and he even has to go to local food banks to get, you know, food for himself and his family. And the salary that he's making is not enough to fulfill the need that he needs to help his family with all this kind of stuff. And it just kind of shows that there's a lot of problems with America today. they need to, like, you know, do something, like help, you know, not just, you know, feeding the homeless and stuff. That's not, that helps, but it's not gonna, you know, fix the problem. It's just one of those kind of films that get you really thinking, and even at the end of this here, they give you like a, they have like a .com website you can go to if you want to help and, you know, donate to this charity that helps people that, you know, get food and get back on track with their lives and things. And Jeff Bridges, you know, the dude, you know, from The Big Lebowski, is like the head guy of this organization, and he's in this film talking about how we can help people in America not be hungry anymore and just help them in their lives. And A Place at the Table, it was a very nice documentary, very kind of depressing at the same time. But it's one of those ones you would want to rent and just watch and, like, you know, have that with you. Keep it in your mind, and when you see people out there going, do you have a dollar? You know, unless like they have like crack pipes and stuff with them, that you don't give it to them. But, you know, I don't know. It's a nice little documentary. I recommend you guys rent this one, guys. Brass Teapot, starring Juno Temple. This one was actually kind of a hella fun. It's about this newlywed couple. They're both going through hard times. The husband just kind of like lost his job, and Juno Temple's character, the wife, is trying to find a job. One day they get in like a little fender bender on the side of the road, and right next to this weird antique shop. And Juno Temple's character walks in there and sees this weird brass teapot and gets it. And then the next day she's at home like curling her hair, getting ready for like a job interview. And she actually burns herself by accident. And then the teapot spits out some money. And then she finds out that every time she hurts herself, the little teapot she just got from this, you know, antique shop spits out money, $100 bills. And, you know, and it just pretty much shows how that teapot drives this couple crazy. You know, and how it kind of takes over their lives, and it gets all weird and nutty. But it was really fun. A dark comedy is what I would probably categorize this film. It was really enjoyable. You get deleted scenes on here, interviews, commentary tracks. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. It's fast paced. It was really cool. If you guys get a chance to see this, if you guys are into movies about like making money and getting money for nothing, and it's cool. It was really fun. The Brass Teapot. 2359. It's a horror film, and it's about these guys that are, you know, sitting in this circle talking to each other, like telling like ghost stories and things. And one of them starts talking about a ghost story that actually happened on their you know, on their site that they're at now, and they start freaking each other out. And then one day when they're on a mission, like, you know, walking through the forest, of course one guy sees something and one of them goes missing, and all these guys start thinking this tale that one of the soldiers said was actually real and actually happens. And you never really know until the end of the film what the hell is really going on. But it was kind of creepy. I can't really recommend it though. It has creepy elements and vibes to it, but it just, at the end, it didn't really satisfy me. You know, it was kind of like building up to something, and it just kind of just went, you know. But it is kind of creepy. If you guys want to see like a ghost story kind of a movie taking place on an army base, I would check it out. But, you know, it's gonna build you up, but it's not gonna like satisfy you at the end. Next up right here from Kino is of Human Bondage, starring Bette Davis. This is a film about this guy that's going to like school to become a doctor, and one day he goes into this like restaurant and he sees this waitress that he falls in love with, and he becomes really obsessed with her. And then when he's like taking tests at school, he can't like focus. He can't focus right on the test, and he's like failing all these tests, and he's like in his dream world, and every time he's like dreaming, he's dreaming about that girl that he saw at this restaurant. And it's pretty much him trying to do anything he can to get with this girl, which is played by Bette Davis. And that's pretty much the basis of the movie, about obsession, and like how like obsession can control your life and ruin things for you. And I really liked it. There was another one that I talked about in my last update called Hell's House, which was a little bit better. That's from the same series of releases. This one was okay, but Hell's House was a little bit better. It's cool, but it wasn't as good as Hell's House. I recommend checking it out if you guys are an entrepreneur of old school films. But that's of Human Bondage. Next up right here from Wilde USA is Tai Chi Hero, son. This is the sequel to Tai Chi Zero. This is the second one in the trilogy of movies that are going to be put out in the Tai Chi series. This one, you know, continues the story from the first one, from the main character of the first one, to see what he's up to now after he defeated the big monster machine. And it just continues off from that. Man, this movie and the other movie, Tai Chi Zero, over-the-top action scenes. I just absolutely love this movie, and I absolutely love the Tai Chi Zero one also. But the cool thing about these two movies, that the action director of these films is Sammo Hung, from, you know, old school Jackie Chan movies, you know, The Magnificent Butcher, Prodigal Son. And it was just so cool that watching the fight scenes in this and just the over-the-topness of it. Like, sometimes you kind of lost in the story, like, you know, lost in translation kind of stuff when watching foreign films, but you have an English dub on here. You get a making of, and you get trailers of the films on here. Really, really nice release from Wilde USA. Has a beautiful embossed slipcase on here. You guys know me and my martial art films. I just, like, absolutely love them. It's also from one of the producers of Ip Man, which you guys all know I love too. Man, check this one out, guys, if you guys are into, like, high-flying, butt-kicking action, man. Storyline kind of like, eh. But the action, boom, boom, bam! Awesome! Tai Chi Hero, son. Next up right here from new video is Hansel and Gretel Get Baked. You guys all know the fairy tale of Hansel and Gretel. It's just a modern take on that. It stars Laura Flynn Boyle as the Wicked Witch, or whatever you want to call her in this one, the little old lady. And Hansel and Gretel are brother and sister. One night, Gretel's boyfriend goes out to get some weed, but never comes back. And it's pretty much about Hansel and Gretel trying to find Gretel's boyfriend and what happened to him. Yet the Wicked Witch, or Laura Flynn Boyle, has him captured in her house down in the basement, like, you know, doing all these weird things to him. And she's kind of like the secret drug dealer of the town. And it's pretty much about them going out to other drug dealers trying to see, have you seen my boyfriend? Have you seen my sister's boyfriend anywhere? And it's them, you know, trying to find him and getting into all this mischief and stirring up all this other stuff with other drug dealers in town, going, oh my god, there's other people selling on my turf. And it was cool. It's kind of low budget, but kind of fun at the same time. If you guys get a chance to check this one out, it's really kind of like, it's like a stoner comedy with horror elements in it, you know. It comes with a cool little slipcase here on Blue Rizzle. But that's Hansel and Gretel Get Baked. I recommend checking this out, like a rental wise. It's really fun. Alright guys, last but not least is my favorite movie of this whole stack. I don't know why there isn't a Blu-ray of it. There's only a DVD of this film. But that is Supporting Characters. This is such a beautiful, awesome movie. And it's about these two guys that are like best friends, and they have been best friends for years. But yet they're film editors in New York, and they work together in this film lab, and they're having trouble with the editing of this film, and the director that's giving them problems while they're trying to edit this film, yet they have relationship problems with the significant others, and it's about how they deal with that, and how one of the editors of the film is kind of infatuated with one of the stars that's in the film that actually comes into the editing room for some ADR work, and how he's kind of like cheating on his wife with this, you know, superstar. And it's just such a beautiful film. I really love this movie. It starts off, you know, with these two editors sitting in a movie screening, trying to get the audience reactions and what they think about the film they just finished editing. It's just a really cool film, kind of like a mellow kind of a film, but I absolutely loved it. You get, I believe, like a little interview. You get some interviews on here, theatrical trailers, and some little bit of behind-the-scenes stuff. But oh man, I totally recommend this one if you guys get a chance to check this one out, guys. I absolutely love this one. But that's all I really have to show you guys today. Thank you all for coming by, checking this video out, and make sure you guys thumbs it up. I'll see you guys all later.